We'll start with Kiihne versus Job. Kiihne's on your left. Jonathan Job is on your right. It'll be Selesnya tokens against Is It Drakes. And these players will be given the green light. We'll be underway here in just a moment. And he's gone. Looks like Zachary's going to be on 6 cards. Job, a big Houston Astros fan. Looks like he's on 7 with Is It Drakes. Looking for the 9-0 is John. It could be a 3rd team open win here this year for Job and company. But for now, you got to keep your eyes on the prize, which is a 9-0 start here in Las Vegas. Be a steam vents for Job, a forest for Zachary Kiihne. Job with a mountain. Is it Electromancer? It's Chart a Course. He'll draw a card. Got to discard a card. Actually, draw 2, pardon me, and discard 1. Since he didn't attack with anything. Good place for the Arclight Phoenix to be.
Next round pairings are on their way to the gathering point. Please find your seat. Again,
go to Zachary here. He has a white producing land there in Sun Petal. Sun Petal Grove. Pardon me.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
I had a brain fart there. Sun Petal Grove for Adanto Vanguard. Radical idea.
So I think something that Wizards should get a lot of credit for here is the Is It deck for the first time that they've had this guild really does feel like a spells matter sort of strategy.
Feels like an Is It deck.
I mean, in the previous standard formats, Goblin Electromancer didn't even whiff constructed level play. The setup for that sort of card to be good was nowhere to be found. And now Goblin Electromancer is a foundational element of these Is It decks. I think they deserve a lot of credit for getting the deck to feel like an Is It deck, I think, in a way that previous iterations have not.
Kiihne, after that attack with the Adanto Vanguard, play another copy of Sun Petal Grove. Now here's History of Benalia. Haven't seen a lot of that powerful white mythic here this weekend. A lot of Golgari decks in the standard chairs in Vegas.
Is it as well?
Yeah. So they're 2-2 Vigilant Knight. That'll be joining the battlefield here in just a moment as we head back over to our Is It Drakes player, Jonathan Job.
Sealed players, your 4th and final round pairings are being posted at your pairings board. Please make your way to your seats again. 4 p.m. sealed spectacular players, your 4th and final
Job,
round
no
pairings
land just yet. You see he's got a copy of Beacon Bolt in hand. That's a 1 of Beacon Bolt here this weekend. Generally a 1 of card in the 75. Sometimes main, sometimes sideboard.
But another example of you get to look at a lot of cards. It's a really high value 1 of to have fooling around your deck somewhere, but not the type of card you want to draw a bunch of.
Yep. All right, well, there is Beacon Bolt. That'll take care of one of those Knight tokens. Now, one card that Is It does struggle with is Adanto Vanguard.
Yeah.
They're a damage-based removal spell deck. Adanto Vanguard, obviously, doesn't care about damage-based removal as long as you've got some life to play with. Selesnya decks generally do. They don't have a problem gaining life. There's another Adanto Vanguard. This is Legion's Landing. So we'll get a 1/1 Vampire token as well for Zachary.
You can see, Job, it's tough for him to keep his head above water with 1 removal spell a turn.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to head back over to Job. Picked up a copy of Shock. I think he might be starting things off with Chart a Course. And he is. So he'll draw 2, and of course, discard 1 here in just a moment. Looks like Murmuring Mystic among the cards he's found. And discard a copy of Radical Idea. Of course, given that that card has Jumpstart, Graveyard's not a bad place for it. Island for the turn. Looks like Joe might have a 1-mana blue spell to play.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got Opt and a Shock, then he can get the Phoenix back, which is something.
Here is an Opt. Scry the top card to the bottom, draw a card. And now here comes Shock. Yeah, probably just got to take care of that Knight token, given the history of Benalia. Trigger's going to bring back the Arclight Phoenix, given the 3 spells that were played. Chart of Course, Opt, and Shock. Now the 3/2 flyer, the question is it attacking or is it blocking? It appears to be at least attempting to block.
I think Kiihne has such a strong incentive here to attack with the Vampire token to flip over the Legion's Landing that he might as well hang back on D.
Yeah, well, there's a Johnny, adversary of Tyrants. Looking to put some +1/+1 counters here. Going to put 1 on to the Vampire to make it a 2/2. 1 on the Adanto Vanguard. And now Zachary's coming from 2 different angles and even gets a land out of the deal there with the Adanto, the first fort. There is your Mythic Planeswalker there in a Johnny from M19. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creature. That'll bring the loyalty from 4 to 5 the first go. That's why you see the 5 on that Ajani. You can -2 it to return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard straight to the battlefield. We see that so often with that Tastil Honor Guard. And then the -7 you get an emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep, cats and stuff.
And now Job doesn't even have the line available of try to play a Crackling Drake and kill in 1 shot because Job is going to be forced to block next turn, and Kiihne can get both the Vanguards to be above 4 power or plus while attacking.
Well, I think the plan now is pretty straightforward, which is Murmuring Mystic's got some work to do. Now, Johnny is going to put a counter on each of those Adano Vanguards, and I think it's going to do so again.
I mean, he needs to just get the Murmuring into a chump block. He needs to present 2 lethal threats here.
Now, he's close to presenting 2 lethal threats. And actually, honestly, it actually looks like Joe doesn't even have like a 1-mana spell to play.
Okay, then it's easy for Kiihne's perspective. I was just assuming there was something there. If there's nothing, then we're in garbage time.
Looks like Job's going to fall down to 1. Actually, 3, 4, 5. Fall down to 2. Pardon me. Well, he's got a Banefire.
Okay, we're a ways away.
Might just want to send him a message.
Just let him know about it.
Teach him a lesson. This one's going to come into play for game number 2. What's really tough about this, too, is I think Job has another copy of Murmuring Mystic. He can play Murmuring Mystic and Banefire for 0 to get to make one of those illusions. That doesn't seem great, though. Casey Lancaster, however, he's got less concerns than Jonathan Job does. He wins game number 1 there over David Thomas, so lands up a game there over Azoria Stoneblade. Probably a good matchup for lands, I would think.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Job's got some creatures over there. He's also got a copy of Crackling Drake in hand. And Downtown Vanguard, though, causing a lot of trouble in this matchup. And that's an interesting card because the Vanguard, not great in the white-based mirrors.
Yep.
Battlefield gets clogged up. Paying that amount of life to keep it alive might not be particularly worth it. It's just not that great in those types of matchups. But it's great here.
And it's not even necessarily that good against the red beatdown decks, too, because it's so much life. But here, where Kiihne's Light Toll really isn't under any pressure, and Job is trying to manage the whole game with point-and-click removal spells, it's been excellent. You can see, I mean, other stuff has been going on, but this game has been defined by Kiihne just having 2 of those and Job really struggling to get any sort of traction in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you might argue this is the best card you could actually draw or have against Izzet Drakes because they struggle with it so much. I mean, that's why we saw players like Yu Watanabe playing Entrancing Melody.
Right.
You can't kill it, might as well steal it. And then you might be able to kill your opponent with it, but at least the problem is solved. Taking a look at Job's deck list, I don't think he has. Well, he's got Entrancing Melody in the sideboard. We'll get to that after this first game is over. This is going to shock the Johnny. And now, Bane fired for 0. Yeah, that's a tough way to do it, folks. He's going to get back in Arclight Phoenix, but those are just blockers. Speed bumps, really. Looks like Flower Flourish was the card that was drawn. be a main phase activation of Adanto. Put a +1/+1 counter on the Vampire. And the other, Vanguard. And now creatures are going to die. And now here is a flower. So Zachary Kiihne is going to search up a land. I think he might play this land. Yeah, he's just going to get a basic Plains likely. That'll enter the battlefield. And then we head back over to Job, who will draw a card. Take a look at his graveyard, trying to figure out is there a way for him to stay in this one. I guess the question I have for Job is how do you actually go about winning this game?
Well, he would. I mean, does he have any copies of +1/+1 and haste in his deck? That would be the way.
Nope.
Of trying to do it in one shot. But
Yeah.
if he doesn't have it, then nothing to be done.
No maximized velocity, and so Job is going to concede the game. Zachary Kiihne is going to win game number 1 here over Jonathan Job. Selesnya tokens up a game there over Is It Drake's off the power of the Adanto Vanguards, plural. So the team of Lancaster, Whitehouse, and Kiihne doing very well for themselves thus far. Currently up a game as Basoco and Whitehouse battling in the humans versus Bant Spirits matchup. Sideboard time, you see both players going to it. We're going to do the same here. I think the first thing that Job is going to grab are those entrancing melodies. He's got 3 of those on the board. Niv Mizzet Parun doesn't seem too bad either, along with 3 Sark and Fireblood, 2 Shivan Fire, 2 Star of Extinction, a Fiery Cannonade, and a Sorcerer's Spyglass.
I'm guessing the Cannonade, the Shivan Fires, and the Entrancing Melodies will come in here.
I think that's a pretty good sideboard. Job's main deck it's by no means bad. It's interesting. I mean, like, there are cards that are going to easily come out here. I don't really like Banefire. I don't really like the Mirari Conjecture. Lava Coil is fine, but it doesn't solve the Vanguard problem, so I'm not sure if those are supposed to stay or supposed to go. Murmuring Mystic seems okay. I think you obviously leave in Goblin Necromancer because they can't kill it, but it's kind of interesting. He's got a lot to board in. Yeah. I'm curious what he boards.
I think that if you're bringing in Entrancing Melody, you can't touch Electromancer. I think that synergy is just too powerful.
Yeah?
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense. For Zachary Kiihne, 4 Nullhide Ferox. That's a big one, along with 3 Baffling Ends, 3 Knight of Autumns, 2 Vivian Reed, 2 of the Cruel Harpooner, and the Immortal Sun as a singleton.
Not a whole lot here to be interested in. I think the Baffling Ends are okay. I like the Immortal Sun all right, but I wouldn't do a whole lot of sideboarding here.
Okay.
I guess Vivian Reed, he's a little soft in the air. It's maybe not the best card, but I think he probably wants a little bit of protection against flyers.
Oh, those are the options there for Kiihne and Job. Joby on the play here for game number 2. As these players do continue to sideboard, and Basoco keeps working on his match against Whitehouse. Let's talk about giving the gift of SCG. Drink it in, man. We got Game Night, Sleeves, Tarmo Dice, Creature Collection Sleeves, Ultimate Guard Supreme UX Sleeves, Ultimate Guard Boulders, Binders, the UX series, of course, from Star City Games, the gift packs, got it all.
Everything. Right, go to SCGgames.com/SCG merch, and you know what? If you're not sure what you can get for someone, you're looking around, maybe you don't know their shirt size, what kind of sleeves they want, you can always get a gift card.
Easy
also,
play.
and let them figure it out themselves.
I used to be anti-gift cards. As I've gotten older, I don't know what to get for people, so I'm just giving gift cards away now.
Yeah.
Just Amazon gift cards for days.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want.
I try to get an AMC gift card from my sister so she can take the nieces and nephews out to a movie.
All right.
They like to do that.
Yeah, movie style?
Yeah.
I think like Toy Story 4 is coming out soon, I think.
Wouldn't know.
That's going to be a good kids movie.
Yeah.
Comes out May next year, I've been informed. I'm a Toy Story fan. Last Toy Story was good. What's the last movie you saw in the movie theater? See anything
The
recently?
last movie I saw in a movie theater. Wow. Let me think about that.
Okay, so you haven't seen anything recently.
No, I trying to think. I saw a movie a few years ago in theater. It's escaped me. I don't have it. I didn't see Black Panther in the movie theater. I did watch it though.
Great film.
It was awesome.
Oh, have you seen the Detective Pikachu trailer?
No.
Oh. You will probably hate this.
Yep.
It's not a lock,
Yep.
but I've got a feeling you're not going to be in on this. It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Ryan Reynolds as an actor?
Not super familiar.
Really? I was going to say you're not a fan.
Yeah, my only frame of reference for the Detective Pikachu movie, which I don't know anything else, is a tweet from an account that I like quite a bit that simply says, Pikachu coercing a confession from a learning impaired teenager.
Okay. Okay. That might be accurate. Is that the pixelated boat?
No, different account.
Okay. I know that's one of your favorite follows.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Another one was Pikachu planning drugs on someone he's sure is guilty but can't prove it.
Maybe this movie is for you.
Maybe. Well,
Maybe it is for you.
I haven't actually seen.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen any of it.
Maybe this would be for you. Okay. I changed my opinion now. You could be in on this.
So I don't really know much about it. Is it exactly what it sounds like it is?
So what do you think it is?
Pikachu solves crimes? Trench coat, maybe?
I think Pikachu does wear a trench coat. There is a hat.
Okay.
There's a hat involved. So I didn't even. So first of all, I thought it was a video game. It's a movie.
It was a video game.
Oh, apparently it was a video game. I'm finding out now.
So I have hit the age where
Job gonna take a mulligan.
it is no longer profitable to try to tap into my nostalgia. That is a thing that when you're in your late 20s to mid 30s, companies know you had the things you cared about in your childhood. Maybe now you got a little bit of money in your pocket, and you would be interested in watching, remakes of various things.
Okay.
Pokemon, I was a little too old for.
Yep.
And now we're at the point where Pokemon nostalgia is a thing to tap into for people who are in their early to mid 30s.
Okay.
It's all passed me by. And I know that the Detective Pikachu movie is a harbinger of me being now too old for companies to find it lucrative to try to leverage my nostalgia over my childhood.
I see. So Pikachu was like Pokemon was like in my prime, but I wasn't.
Right.
Pokemon.
This is where our age gap comes in.
Yeah.
Is Pokemon was right in your stride.
Yeah,
And
but
for me it was.
But I didn't Pokemon.
Yeah.
Didn't play. None of it. But I'm still interested in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess I think I watched the show for a little while. It's completely ridiculous. I think I watched the show for a little bit when I was growing up, because I think I could name like the first 150 Pokemon. Now I don't know what's going on. I can't name.
Yeah.
I could only name like a couple, because the show was so absurd, and the way he used to say coughing was like really awesome. That's a Pokemon, by the way. And Arbok. So there were some good parts of it, but
There's Ben Lundquist recently gave Pokemon cards to everyone at work that was supposed to fit their personality. I got a red card, a red bird, Firebird. That's attack was called Peck Off, and Benny was like, "That sounds."
That's you.
That's you.
That's you. No, that's good. That's good work by Ben. That's what it is. There's an Adonto Vanguard. Chart a course there from Job. Put an Arclight Phoenix into the graveyard, right where he'd like that thing to be. But the problematic permanent in Adonto Vanguard is back, so I hope for you Jonathan Job fans out there that he's actually found a copy of Entrancing Melody. For now, it's Memorial to Genius. That enters the battlefield tapped. In for 3 comes the Vanguard. I wonder what this bird was called, this red bird.
It started with an F. Fletcher. I don't know. I don't have it.
Fletchling?
Maybe that might be right.
That sounds right.
Peck Off.
Yeah.
Just search Pokemon Peck Off and you'll find it.
Sapperling Migration there from Zachary. 2 Sapperling tokens. Entrancing Melody perhaps here from Job? Maybe Crackling Drake? He's tapped 4 mana pretty quickly. Yeah, there it is. That Adonto Vanguard belongs to Jonathan Job now. Kiihne tapping mana very quickly.
The Nullhide Ferox.
Yeah, so now we have some cards to take a look at. I want to start with Nullhide Ferox.
Players, once again, a reminder that we are taking registration.
This thing
for
is
tomorrow
pretty
morning's modern,
big.
Standard or Legacy Classic events.
Nullhide
If you'd like to register tonight, you can do so.
Fletchinger, I
Up
think,
until the end of this round of
was the
Swiss
Pokemon.
will be open, after which
Friend of
registration
Nullhide
will
Ferox.
take place tomorrow morning.
Big 6/6. A lot going on with this card. Let's see what this is. Murmuring Mystic. Pass the turn back. 6/6 hexproof. You can't cast non-creature spells. 2 mana. Nullhide Ferox loses this ability until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. And then if a spell or ability opponent controls it, make them discard it. Right onto the battlefield. Jeez. Stani now.
Jeez.
Kiihne's not messing around. This deck is flexing its muscles right now.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, the brand.
Oh,
no.
no, brand.
Oh, no. I forgot about that part. Oh, no.
I was not prepared for that either.
Oh, no.
This came up at the Grand Prix.
Oh, I remember.
This came up at the Grand Prix.
Oh, dear. It's a beatdown here in Vegas.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear.
Brand.
At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. So that entrancing melody, Jonathan Job took it. Tristani said, give me my creature back.
That's a tough turn there for Job.
Job paid the life to keep the Vanguard alive.
I know.
All of it.
So bad.
Oh, boy. Boy, he better get the Star of Extinction pretty quick. Lava Coil will take care of that thing. I think is Tristani at 4 power, 4 toughness? 1-4? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And now Job gets a Murmuring Mystic token. For some reason I thought it was a 2-5. I don't know why. It doesn't give the bonus to itself. What do we got here? Tormenting Voice. All right, discard a Shock. Get another token. Draw 2 cards. I have to believe that Job sideboarded in Star of Extinction. He's going to need that to get out of this situation. There's a Shock. Make another token. Get back the Arc-like things. All right, he's working towards something here.
It's got a lot of, I mean, if Kiihne doesn't have a way to grant trample to anything, Job's got a cushion to work with, and every spell he draws is more stuff to do and another chump blocker.
Yep.
The 1/5 does a lot of work in terms of turning off the tokens as eligible attackers.
And there's an attack in the air, which is where Kiihne's weak.
Yep.
Obviously. So Kiihne's turn was fantastic. Job's turn wasn't bad either. Here comes Nullhide Ferox. Another Ferox. Going back over to Job now. Kiihne ain't got no interest in casting spells, it appears. It's going to be a Crackling Drake. Let's draw. Island the draw. And Job will play a land for the turn. And it looks like that Ferox was chump blocked last turn, so Job's staying at 11. One thing about the Ferox, doesn't trample.
No, as long as Job can keep piecing together some spells here, he's got a cushion to work with, and it's not hard for him to turn around and get to lethal here also.
You'll see in the middle match, we didn't announce it, but if you're paying attention to the scoreboard, you saw it. Brian Basoco, he won game number 1 there over Evan Whitehouse, so Humans is up a game here over Bant Spirits. Job's trying to figure out the best way to get this game over with. Walking the tightrope. In there. Let's go back over to Zachary. Looks like Zachary picked up a land for the turn.
And now it's really problematic for Kiihne to try to cast any non-creature spells. Before he had enough mana to pay for 1 copy of Nullhide Ferox. Paying for 2 is really cuts off a lot of the spells he could even theoretically cast.
Mm-hmm. Looks like that Crackling Drake is a 6 power flyer.
So with Kiihne, with Job at 2 cards in hand, if I'm Kiihne, I really want to try to attack in such a way that the tokens have to get involved in combat, the 2 flyers, because that's probably the line where it goes from Job is likely to kill me the next turn to Job is unlikely to kill me next turn.
And Zachary's got Baffling End in hand. So he wants to take care of a token. Now the Feroxes no longer have hexproof.
But they're also still gigantic.
Yeah, they're enormous. Everybody coming in. All right.
So if you block just a Null-Hive Ferox, so one, you'd have to block a Null-Hive Ferox, at least one. And then you can sort of just eat up some tokens here.
Job's Crackling Drake gets a little bit bigger, now because of the instance, so it's a 7-power creature, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like sending everything here because this could easily come down to a point, and now Job has a clean shot to attack with a 1/5 on the way back.
Yeah, so right now if you're taking a look at things, the Crackling Drake's a 7-power creature. The Arc Light is a 3-power creature. Let's call that 10.
Yep.
The Mystic is an 11th point of damage. And some of these creatures, like this Murmuring Mystic, actually gets the opportunity to block. We can say the same thing about the Crackling Drake. Now, I wonder if Job has to block both of these Null-Hive Feroxes.
So he has to. I think he only has to block one, assuming that the rest of his blocks get to line up on. You put the 1/5 in front of the Vanguard and you eat up some tokens. I think you can allow one of them to go through. It looks like Job instead just double chumped.
All right.
Not sure it was strictly necessary, but
So right now, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of power on the battlefield here for Jonathan, with an opponent at 15. It looks like he has a Beacon Bolt in hand. Looks like he'll play another Crackling Drake. All right. Trigger, draw a card. Get a little deeper into that deck. Found a land. Land's not bad. That'll let him actually play that copy of Beacon Bolt. Assuming that is what he has in hand here. He'll play a Radical Idea, so he's going to draw a card. Get a token from the Murmuring Mystic, too. So, up to 8 goes the Crackling Drake's power. How does Job want to attack here?
I would like to try to get this to 2 turns if I'm in his position.
Yeah, I mean, it could be as simple as just saying, I'll attack with 1 Crackling Drake, put you down to 7. I've got pretty good defense. Your Null-Hides...
I can chump.
They still don't have trample.
Yeah, I can chump the 6/6s and eat up the 1/1s. So I'm not at much risk of the second Crackling Drake dying and then win from there.
And that'll take care of it. So Zachary Kiihne does concede the game pretty quickly there because there's really no way out of that situation. There's really no relevant spell he can cast in a spot like that because of the Null-Hive Feroxes.
Well, we saw both vulnerabilities on display for these 2 decks. In the first game, Job was unable to manage down to Vanguard and also just sort of generally going wide with his removal. And then as we saw in the second game, Kiihne is not that good against chump blockers plus flyers. And Job was able to cobble that together.
All right. Well, let's take a look at our Ravnica Allegiance pre-release playmat, folks. Let's do it. Simeon Tour Guide.
Tour guide.
I love it. Your store can have this playmat, the newest member of the StarCityGames.com Creature Collection. Super easy. First of all, send them to go.starcitygames.com/pre-release. They can also talk to their organized in-store play representative. That'll help you get signed up.
Yes.
Now, this pre-release is going to take place on January 19th and the 20th. I think we're all, as a community, excited about the pre-release for Ravnica Allegiance and this awesome playmat that if your store does participate can get it. So make sure they do sign up today. Get some information about this awesome program. It's been a huge hit with StarCityGames.com, bringing some unique playmats. And we hope you want to bring the Simeon Tour Guide to your store as well. Again, ask your local game store to sign up today. Go.starcitygames.com/pre-release or contact your StarCityGames.com in-store
Representative.
It's normally your line. It's ISP representative, so in-store play representative. There you go. Here we go. Game number 3. Zachary Kiihne, Jonathan Job. You see the scoreboard. Casey Lancaster, Dave Thomas, they're going to G3. And then I take it back. Casey just won. He takes care of David Thomas 2-1. So Job and Basoco will have to win to keep those 9-0 dreams alive.
I mean, you still feel good about an 8-1 finish should it come that way. But when you've won the most recent one and then are 8-0, a loss here would probably sting quite a bit. Even if it's more, perception than reality as it comes to their ability to finish well in the tournament.
There you go. Peck off.
Peck off.
It's Fletchender.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's my spirit Pokemon.
Noted. Do you think Fletchender drinks coffee in the morning too?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of coffee did I get you? Was that coffee I got you eating good? Did you drink that yet?
It's all gone.
It's gone?
Of course it is.
I didn't know what to buy.
A bag of coffee does not stay
Doesn't
around.
even, is there like a coffee that you're just like, I will not drink this. This is horrible.
I mean, so there's kind of like quality in absolute terms.
Okay.
But once you're past that, I'm not super picky. I
Okay.
typically prefer a light roast to a darker roast, but I don't really care. There's a coffee shop near where I work called Amethyst. It's a Broadway and 11th in Denver. For my money, the best coffee in town, and they just have a random rotating selection of beans, and everything they do is. I'm just not that picky. It's all awesome.
I wish I liked coffee.
I don't know.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing to never pick up.
I guess I wish I liked the taste of coffee because I have to add so much sugar and cream to it that it's just drinking a sugar drink then.
Yeah, it took me a little while. I used to drink it like really light and sweet, and then sort of came to the conclusion that a lot of the worst elements of my diet were due to that.
Yeah, of course.
It took me maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks to get used to drinking it black, and now I can't drink it with sugar or milk in it or whatever.
If I'm going to add all this sugar, give me a milkshake.
Right, exactly.
What are we even doing?
Yep.
Give me a Jamocha shake. Arby's, sponsor us.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, don't. I take that back. It's Legion's Landing to start. Actually, they have a chicken bacon Swiss. It's actually not bad. Though unclear if that's actually chicken. I wouldn't place a bet. It has honey mustard on it too. Actually, can we go there for dinner?
We're not doing that.
All right. I'll give you a choice.
You can go, or you can go with
Arby's or the OG? Where are we going?
the OG,
It's never-ending pasta season.
the Olive Garden. Oh man,
Oh, baby. Talk to me. Never-ending pasta. A lot of combinations.
I would probably prefer to go to the Arby's because there is less social costs associated with getting up in the middle of dinner and leaving. So there's my answer.
Here's a history of Finalia.
You leave in an Olive Garden like someone's got to pick up your check and it's a whole hassle. Arby's is just you pay and you're already done.
You know they give you mints when you leave the Olive Garden? Andy's mints?
I did not know
They're
that.
just giving those away. The best mint on earth.
Yep.
Here's chart of course. Joe will draw 2, discard a card. I imagine he's going to discard an Arclight Phoenix. If I had to guess. Good choice. Oof, no land. History Benali is going to make another token. Now, Joe does have a copy of Fire Candidate in hand.
But he doesn't. I mean, it's a little awkward with the Electromancer.
Yeah,
Unless
but if he sweeps it up real good,
I'm assuming the Electromancer is not a pirate.
it is not a pirate.
That would be quite the combo.
Yeah, it is not a pirate. I remember Fire Candidate is an instant.
I mean, it's a painful way to do it. If it comes to it, it's probably worth it. But especially when Kiihne is threatening to flip over the Legion's Landing also.
Now, this is interesting. Job drew an opt.
I want to go for it. Job's kind of got to make his land drops to get out of this anyway.
Right? So Party says, well, I can cast Fire Cannonade, clear everything up, makes the Legion Landing bad, makes the History Analia bad, all of it. Or I could opt, find another land, but it's also got to be a red source of mana. Basic Island's not going to work. So Job just says, you know what, I'm not going to get too cute. I'm not going to play opt. I'm going to fire a cannonade on your turn. Kill all your creatures. Kiihne, follow up. Ooh, boy. Well,
Yeah.
It's not getting any easier here for John. Vivian Reed is a nice one. Sun Petal Grove, not particularly threatening, but an active Planeswalker is. On the upkeep, Job is going to opt.
So if Job can opt and chain together 2 shocks this turn, he can take care of the Vivian Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the Phoenix back and then can take it from there.
Looks like he has 2 shocks in hand. I think he's actually able to do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, shock, shock. Get back the Phoenix. Bang, bang. All right, he's back in it.
And, Kiihne didn't hit anything of note off of the Vivian Reed there.
Yep. There's a Danto Vanguard, a little late to this game. And Job's life total is pretty high.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, he can definitely draw out of this.
Temple Garden's going to enter the battlefield tapped. Let's see what the follow-up is. Going to be Cruel Harpooner.
No harpooning.
But no harpooning to be done. Okay. Let's go over to John. Remember, Kiihne played a Temple Garden that turn, which means he's got another land in hand that Job knows about in Sun Petal Grove. It's got to feel pretty good if you're John. You got to imagine, okay, my opponent, I haven't seen March of the Multitudes or anything. My opponent might be flooding out. Might be doing okay here, even though I missed my land drop for a couple turns. I can climb back into this.
Yep. Job's position is not bad.
Job getting aggressive with the Phoenix. Zachary going to fall down to 18. There's an Electromancer. And Basoco will pass the turn back. We're going back over to Zachary, who drew another land. He's got a forest. Here comes the Vanguard. That part's pretty easy. Play that Sun Petal Grove, pass the turn back. Going to John now, who's trying to catch back up in this game. I guess one could argue that they're even.
Oh, I think Job's way ahead.
Yeah?
I mean, Kiihne's got some big draws, but
Radical Idea. Discard an Arclight Phoenix. That's pretty cute. Does he have another 1-mana spell? I guess it can be a 2-mana spell. He's got a Shift and Fire. Oh, yeah, I think he's just super ahead now.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah, he's
Jeez.
way ahead.
If March of the Multitudes doesn't show up, he's super far ahead. Get back another Phoenix. Getting here for 8. Yeah, this looks great for John. You see our middle match is all tied up now. There's an attack for 3. There's a land. Let's see what this is. Conclave Tribunal. Okay, sure. So this might come down to Basoco and Whitehouse now. Those players are all tied up there. We've held them. So we might get our eyes on another match here. There's a land. There's Murmuring Mystic. Pass the turn back. It's going to have to be a good one there for Zachary Kiihne. It's no good. He's going to concede the game. Jonathan Job going to win this game match here over Zachary Kiihne. So is it Drake's defeats Selesnya Tokens, which means we're all tied up. And it all comes down to that middle match between Evan Whitehouse and Brian Basoco. Humans and Bant Spirits.
The perfect day still possible.
Yes, it is. For this wonderful team of Thomas Basoco and Job, though the team of Lancaster, Whitehouse, and Kiihne are trying to play spoiler here. So, as these players get ready here for game number 3 in the middle seat between Whitehouse and Basoco, we're going to give them the green light here in just a second. Before that, a quick word from our friends at Ultimate Garden. Then we see if Basoco and company will be 9-0. February 1st, you'll be able to get that awesome backpack from all of your local retailers and at StarCityGames.com.
You going to hook me up?
Again? Sleeves and now the backpack too?
Elite Gaming Supplies.
Okay, first of all, that's not...
It's time
okay,
for...
Hold on. It's premium protection.
In the tweet, you mentioned Elite Gaming Supplies when you responded to mine.
That sounds like I did.
Yeah.
I did do that. Okay. You win this time.
Premium protection.
Yeah. Which one you want? You want one or you want both?
I'm in the market. I got to get rid of my old backpack's got to go.
Jeez. All right, we'll see. We'll see what I can do. Cavernous Souls. Naming human. Ether Vial. Back over to Evan Whitehouse. Evan not sure what he wants to do on the first turn of the game. There we go. There's a land, most likely naming Spirit. And he'll play a Vial as well.
Can see why he tanked with that start.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a big Cavern of Souls, not naming Eldrazi elves or humans. I'll take my stamp there. Another Vial here from Brian. We'll head back over to Evan.
Yeah, that turn one's a head scratcher.
Yeah. He'll draw. His Vial is on one. Play another Vial. All right, similar starts for the players. Pass the turn back. Over to Brian. Vials on 2 and 1. Humans in a happy, happy place. Well, I'd assume humans in a happy place. Brian's shaking his head like he's not happy.
Well, he's on 6 cards, and the second Vial's a little redundant. I mean, it's not a bad 6-card hand by any stretch, but you got to have some concerns about if you're just going to have enough stuff to work with.
And he looks like he's unhappy about something he might play here.
Oh, is he about to break open that canopy?
I've been there. When you got when you have Vial on 2 and 1, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Who cares? You don't need any mana. Feel free to break that canopy. He is long in thought here. Okay, here comes Job.
Open players, that is time in the round. Active player, please, you are turn 0. Please proceed to 5 additional turns to finish the match.
Teamwork at its finest. All right, he's going to take 1.
Okay.
All right, Lieutenant. I think trigger on the stack.
That's bingo.
Activate. Yep, holding priority. Well done. Copy. Lieutenant, which means they're both going to get 1 counter. Been here before. Yep. Try again. Here. Nope. Nope, that's not it.
No.
Nope.
That ain't it.
That ain't it. I'm pretty sure it's not it. Hold on. Vial went in. Hold on. So Lieutenant cast it. Trigger on the stack. You copy that. Gets a counter from a human entering, and then it puts a counter there. Okay, that is it.
Okay.
That's it. No, we're good. That's on me.
Okay.
And then the other one puts a counter on the Phantasmal
Yep,
image.
okay.
We're good. We're good. 3-3 and a 2-2. That's my bad. All right, Violent Noble Hierarch. Crack that Windswept Heath. Search up a land.
2 glacial turns. Sorry, 1.5.
Look, it's 4 at all.
Yeah. Well, that's not
true.
That's not the case.
That's not true.
It's for a lot, no question. Matters.
We need you to be a judge for a weekend.
Oh, the slow play.
You'd just be firing them
Yeah.
out. You set a record. Slow play warnings given during a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Over to Whitehouse. Moreland, yes, Moreland Haunt. I love it. I love it. Pass the turn back. So Spell Queller and other things at the ready. Well, Vials on 3 and 2 here for Brian. Meddling Mage to draw. Reflector Mage in hand.
You've played much more humans than I have.
A
obviously.
bit.
Are you surprised to see Meddling Mage in the deck post
No.
board? You like it here?
Yep.
Just not enough spells for the anti-spell stuff to be good, or
No, you just like it's important to name Path to Exile.
okay,
That's all. That's the only removal spell they have in their deck.
cool.
Company. It's also nice to name this too. A lot of the creatures you actually don't care about that much, especially because they're a Vial deck, but there are some spells that you care about, and this is one of them. 4, 5, 6. All right, so 2 Supreme Phantoms.
Interested to see how aggressive Whitehouse wants to be on the block here, although he still has Vials available to make this even a better defensive position.
Yep. You got to be worried if you're Brian about Vial on 2, vialing in either another Supreme Phantom or Phantasmal Image.
Right.
Could there a weird card like Selfless Spirit could be getting involved? Looks like Brian's going to vial in Meddling Mage. We'll see what it's naming, but these lieutenants are going to get bigger because a human has been put onto the battlefield. So 3/3 and a 4/4. Warship's the name. All right.
1 in the sideboard.
Fair enough. Another Hark's going to come through the vial. Whitehouse's card quality is kind of low right now.
Yep. But he's really well set up if he's able to chain together some spirits or Collected Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Vials and 2 Hierarchs. It's a little long on mana for what this deck wants to be doing.
Let's go back over to Evan. Draw a card for the turn. 3 cards in hand. Getting aggressive. It's me for 1, 2, 3, 4 with Exalted.
Yeah, big incentive to try to attack this turn because you have so many Exalted triggers, and it's not like blocking is the easiest thing to do. So I like trying to take a shot here. Good spot for it.
Hollow Fountain on the battlefield tapped. And Whitehouse will pass the turn back, pardon me, over to Basoco. Brian not going to violin a 3 on the end step. We know he's got a Reflector Mage in hand. Not interested in making a move yet. Feels like he can pick a better spot with Reflector Mage.
Well, you'd also, you prefer to do it on your own turn, generally speaking, to get the rollover.
And there is a Vial on 3 and a Vial on 2, so here's Noble Hierarch. Lieutenants are getting larger. 5/5 and a 4/4.
Yeah, and I like this chump block a lot here from Whitehouse because of the Moreland Haunt.
Let's see what this is. Reflector Mage.
Good looking turn here for Whitehouse.
Not bad. Not bad. This is tapping for mana
I think it's just a.
to be able to activate Moreland.
Does that work?
No, it doesn't work anymore. Like
Right.
flowing the mana through the phases.
Yeah.
It might just be floating just to float, which is fine.
Yeah, but by the time it's dead, then that locks out that stage of combat, and you can't float the mana over.
Yep.
But he still has the other Hierarch available, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. The Moreland Haunt's actually quite good here because it's making 3/3s.
Yep. It's a lot of pressure. It's offense and defense. Like it's management no matter what the game looks like.
Let's see what this is. Yep, so there's an activation of Moorland Haunt. 1/1 Spirit coming. And by 1/1, I mean 3/3. This Banned Spirits deck is, I think it's very good now because it's very similar to humans, but it gets a real sideboard where humans' sideboard is traditionally its weak point.
It's priced into just playing a bunch of creatures that aren't necessarily like precise enough for what the game is about.
Yeah, but like you look at Supreme Phantom and it doesn't seem like it's that great. And this is a Spirit deck, but it also plays Hierarch and Reflector Mage, so it's not fully a Spirit deck like humans is obviously a human deck. It's a little strange in that regard, but once it kind of gets going, it's weirdly resilient. And Brian's going to activate his Vial on 2. Play a Lieutenant. There's going to be some triggers here. With the Lieutenant triggers on the stack, he's going to Vial in Reflector Mage, which means more triggers will go on the stack. One from Reflector Mage, a couple from Lieutenants here. So he's going to Reflector Mage the Spirit token, which means that'll be gone for good.
Not a whole lot to be doing, with that Reflector Mage because of the vials that Whitehouse has access to, so you might as well just knock out a token.
Mm-hmm. So now the original Thalia's Lieutenant is going to get pretty big. Got to put some counters here on these other humans as well. So Melee Mage will turn into a 3/3. The second Lieutenant is a 2/2. We're going to Vial something in here, a Phantasmal Image. I'm curious to see what this is going to copy.
Wouldn't be surprised by Reflector Mage.
I wouldn't be either. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was Supreme Phantom to do some more damage in the air.
Yep. I think both of those lines are defensible.
So it looks like it's a Supreme Phantom that's getting copied here. To deal 6. Now Supreme Phantoms are 3/5s.
He's going to get to make a Moorland Haunt token also,
which is a really big deal. But we're going back to Brian's turn. Brian will draw, picked up a copy of Seachrome Coast. As he's at 9. And Moorland Haunt's cranking out 4/4s now.
Well, anything on the ground should just attack because they can't block.
That's a good first step. I would agree.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Start off here.
There's this giant Thalia's Lieutenant that I think is the priority.
Yeah. You can put the Noble Hierarch in front of that and try to swallow up whatever Battling Mage or the other Lieutenant.
Right now, if there was just a block on the large Thalia's Lieutenant, 9 damage would come through. So then if a Thalia's Lieutenant got Vialed through, he would die.
Yeah, Whitehouse can cobble together some additional blocks here by activating the Moorland Haunt also.
Very true.
But I think the preference here, from Whitehouse's side is just chump the large Lieutenant, eat whatever with the Phantasmal Image, make a token, untap and attack, and try to just get across the finish line here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be able to manage combat here for another turn, most likely, on defense. The hits are just too big. But if he can survive this, he's in a position to crack back potentially for lethal. And Basoco only has so many possible cards here. He's down to his draw step plus whatever was in their hand. If whatever was in his hand was good previously, we probably would have seen it by now because he's on 2 vials.
Yeah.
And this means that a Lieutenant is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, a Lieutenant here
It's
isn't
no
even
good.
Yeah, it's 9.
That's going to do it. Evan Whitehouse is going to win this game and match over Brian Basoco. So the team of Lancaster, Whitehouse, and Kiihne will ruin the 9-0 dream there for David Thomas, Brian Basoco, and Jonathan Job. Now, the team on the right still very close to the top of the standings, but Casey Lancaster, Evan Whitehouse, and Zachary Kiihne will close their day on a very, very high note. That's a very, very big win against a team that has done no losing this weekend and very little losing in team constructed opens.
Oh, yeah, just a huge